1940, Europe is in flames. Hitler's armies march like thunder, sweeping across nations with ruthless speed. Poland fell in weeks. Denmark and Norway crumbled. Belgium and the Netherlands surrendered in days. France, the proud heart of Europe, collapsed in just 6 weeks. The Nazi flag now flies across a continent. Cities burn. Governments vanish. Millions flee in terror. And now, across the Channel, Britain waits. An island empire, cut off and cornered, faces the storm alone. An invasion could come at any moment. Bombers already darken the skies. Civilians prepare for the unthinkable. The world whispers, is this the end of Britain? Or will this be remembered as Britain's finest hour? Welcome to Echoes of Empire, where we bring the forgotten stories of Britain's past back to life. The speed of Hitler's conquest stunned the world. In September 1939, Britain and France declared war after Germany's invasion of Poland. Yet within months, Hitler's blitzkrieg, lightning war, shattered everything in its path. Tanks smashed through defenses, planes dominated the skies, and armies that once seemed mighty fell apart like paper. When France fell in June 1940, shockwaves shook the globe. French soldiers wept as they marched into captivity. Families fled Paris as German boots echoed on the Champs-Élysées. The Allies had failed. Europe was lost. For Britain, the future looked grim. The British Expeditionary Force, trapped at Dunkirk, narrowly escaped annihilation thanks to the miracle evacuation of 338,000 troops. But they left behind their guns, tanks, and trucks, escaping with courage, but not with strength. The army was alive, but unarmed. Across the Channel, Britain prepared for the storm. Hitler's eyes turned to the island. Operation Sea Lion, the invasion of Britain, was set in motion. Amid despair, a new voice rose. On May 10, 1940, Winston Churchill became Prime Minister. Many doubted him. Britain was exhausted, allies gone, invasion looming. But Churchill offered no false hope. "I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat," he declared. These words were not promises of peace. They were a challenge to endure, to resist, to fight. He told Parliament, "We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall never surrender." Britain tightened its defenses. Blackout curtains covered every window. Gas masks were distributed. Families dug bomb shelters in their gardens. Children were evacuated from London, put on trains to the countryside with name tags tied to their coats. Ordinary lives were transformed by war. Every man, woman, and child felt the weight of coming invasion. And yet, the island did not crumble. Instead, it steeled itself for the greatest battle in its history. Hitler knew the key to invasion lay in the skies. Before his soldiers could cross the Channel, the Royal Air Force had to be destroyed. The summer of 1940 saw the beginning of the Battle of Britain. Every day, German bombers filled the skies. They outnumbered the RAF 3-1. Their plan: destroy airfields, radar stations, and Britain's will to fight. Against them stood the few, young British pilots, some barely out of school. They flew Spitfires and Hurricanes, taking off from grass airstrips to defend their homeland. One pilot later recalled, "We had no time to think of fear. We scrambled, we climbed, we fought, until the sky itself seemed alive with fire." In villages and cities, people paused in their work to watch battles rage overhead. White trails of smoke scarred the blue sky. Planes spiraled down in flames. Civilians dug shrapnel from their gardens after every raid. And yet, the RAF held. Britain's radar stations gave them warning. Their spirit gave them strength. Against impossible odds, the island did not yield. Churchill captured it best. Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. Defeated in the air, Hitler turned to terror. On September 7, 1940, the Blitz began. London was bombed for 57 consecutive nights. Firestorms consumed entire neighborhoods. Families huddled in underground stations as bombs thundered above. The Thames glowed red with flames. Across Britain, cities burned. Coventry, Liverpool, Manchester. Factories were reduced to rubble. Churches crumbled. Thousands died. And yet, the people endured. A London mother wrote in her diary, "The bombs shake the earth, but we are still here. My children sleep through the raids now, as if the war has become part of life. In shelters, people sang songs, shared tea, and comforted strangers. Out of the ashes, a spirit of defiance rose. Even King George VI and Queen Elizabeth refused to leave London. When Buckingham Palace itself was bombed, the Queen declared, "I can now look the East End in the face." Britain was bloodied, but not broken. By October 1940, Hitler's dream of invading Britain was shattered. The Luftwaffe had failed to crush the RAF. The island still stood. Scarred cities, empty homes, and shattered streets bore witness to sacrifice, but also to survival. Britain had faced the storm and endured. Churchill gave words that would echo for generations. Let us therefore brace ourselves to our duties, and so bear ourselves that if the British Empire and its Commonwealth last for 1,000 years, men will still say, this was their finest hour. It was not victory. The war was far from over, but it was proof. Proof that courage could hold back tyranny, that an island could defy an empire, and that even in the darkest night, hope could burn brighter than fire. Britain had stood alone against the Nazi war machine, and survived. This was not just a military victory. It was a triumph of spirit, the courage of the few, the resilience of civilians, and the unbreakable resolve of a nation turned what seemed like certain defeat into enduring legend. From the ashes of destruction rose unity, sacrifice, and defiance. This was not the end of Britain. It was its finest hour. This was Echoes of Empire. Subscribe for more untold stories from the heart of Britain's history.